Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to make elements stick on screen. Currently in the editor you can make a whole section stick, but you can't make sections, for example the columns inside of a whole section stick on a page. I initially came across this inspiration while looking at design cases study on Weno, and here you can see that they are utilizing the sticky elements in such a beautiful way that allows you to keep track of the subject that is being talked about and the content that is related to the subject. This is what we're going to be implementing today. So I want to show you this on two different versions. This is the one that is going to benefit my website for now. The whole concept is to have this left section staying still, while this right section, which has a list of all my keynote speakers, which is fake, dummies for now, kind of scrolls up and down. As you can see, this left side is sticking to the page. And the whole idea behind it is so that I can get people to sign up and keep them within the context of what I'm trying to talk about on this page. And when it gets to a certain point, that thing will go away and it'll disappear off the page. This is actually really key in membership pages as well, if you guys are building that out in ClickFunnels. If you have like minimal lessons and you want to have the section on the left hand side, this section, and you want to keep this up with the search through course while someone or your customers are using this page, then this code is going to be exactly the same and it's going to work really well. Just a disclaimer, this won't work on your mobile just because of the reason that how these will work is that when it's on mobile, the right hand side your right hand side will go underneath the left, so column 2 should go underneath column 1. For those that are just looking for the code, I'm going to share it with you right now so you don't waste your time. Section 54256, overflow visible. This is for your sections, and your column left 148 position sticky top 0. This would make your left column stick. Overflow visible is really important. If you don't have that, this won't work. Okay, cool. I just want to teach you the concept really quickly so that this makes sense for you maybe a little bit more, and you can apply it to other places than just this specific layout that I put together that you're seeing. So the editor container on this page is the black outline here. Sections are green, and these would reflect kind of exactly the same colors as you see. So this is a section, this is the columns as well as rows, and all orange is the elements that would live inside of the columns. So the way that sticky is going to work in this is that we're going to be applying sticky to a column, and we're going to make one of the columns stick. And in the design that I just showed you guys, basically the left column is sticking while column 2 is scrolling. Basically column 1 is staying still and has a sticky component into it. Column 2 is, and the section, I guess, is moving like so and page. And basically what it does is when it gets to the bottom and it recognizes, hey, you're at the bottom, the whole page would be taken up like this off the viewport in this black square. So hopefully that makes sense. So every time you're applying this code, I just want you to keep in mind how this works. So if you want a column to stick inside of a section, it'll work. But if you have two columns underneath, maybe let's say this row, basically it'll scroll like this until it gets to this point where the bottom of this will meet, and then it'll take this row up with it, like so. So if you have a lot of different things inside of a section and you're just wanting to make this stick over top of other rows, that's going to be a no bueno from this video. I'm just going to add a new step and call it test, my favorite name. Cool, I got myself a blank page. So I have a section and I'm going to add a row, and I'm going to do a 2-column row. In the left hand side, I'm going to add a survey, and then on right hand side, I'm going to add, let's say just add multiple images. How about that? Okay, I've gone ahead and added an image from Cocktail Kit, courtesy of Cocktail Kit Champagne Cocktails. I'm not sponsored by them, I just like the images. And so you could do this with the product, I suppose. If you have a product that you're selling and you want the left-hand side to stick where maybe it has the order now button, that might be really big. What I need to do first is I need to set a overflow visible for the section. So I'm going to go into the top right hand of the section, and it should be in the green. I'm going to click settings, go to get CSS info, and I'm just going to copy the CSS ID selector, Command C, Control C. Go to settings, custom CSS, and then I'm gonna Command V or Control V and paste it in. Command if you have a MacBook, and Control if you have a Windows OS. So we're going to open curly brackets and then go into a new line, type in overflow, colon, visible, semicolon, and then you're gonna close your curly brackets. So now you're just setting the whole section to be visible on overflow. Go into a new line, but you can exit out of this for now. We need to figure out what the naming for this left-hand row is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into this top section and then find columns between rows and elements. Click on it, and then find the one that highlights the one that you're trying to make stick. For me, it's the first column. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go into get CSS info. And in here, you'll see that CSS ID selector is hashtag col left 143.col inner. I'm just going to copy all that for now. Command C, Control C, and then go into custom CSS. And then I'm going to go into a new line of code here, and I'm going to paste that in. And I'm going to delete this .col inner. That is not necessary. I don't want to explain that right now. And then you're gonna do curly brackets, and then we're gonna define position sticky semicolon, and then top column 0 semicolon, and then close curly brackets. And so that should do it. So if you close out of that and then go save and go preview, it will stick at the top of the page. Now you might see this and then find that there's no space above it, which is making this look a little bit more janky than it should be. So what we can go and do is we're gonna go back to editor, and then find this component that we have, and then just go into settings and then put a top margin on it. So I'm gonna just put 100, just now, and go save. And if we refresh that, it'll stick in a place like that. And that's it. That's so simple. Now I'm going to show you how to do it on the membership site. It's pretty standard. It's very similar. I'm just going to copy what I had from the example now, and I'm going to add 2 membership sites. Test membership. Make sure that when you're creating a membership site that you have a membership access point and membership area, or this will not work. I mean, the sticky will work in either way. It's just you won't be able to access your membership area without the membership access point. So for the demonstration, just so I can show you better, I'm just going to open the editor for the content, and I'm just going to multiply these lessons. And then I'm going to open the editor here inside of edit membership design, and I'm going to find the thing that I want to stick. I'm going to just move it. Nice. I'll just delete this guy. Nice. So when you're looking for things to figure out what the section is, just look for the green part. So for this page, there are like 3 sections. And if I go into here and go manage, you see that I have 3 sections. What I'm trying to stick is inside of this 3rd section, and it is inside of the 1st column. So I'm going to go into my settings, custom CSS first, because I have this copied from my other board. Don't worry about the naming conventions here for now. I'm going to exit, and I'm going to find the section, which is the 3rd section here. I'm going to settings, and I go down to the bottom to get CSS info, just like the other one. Copy the CSS ID selector, Command C, Control C. go back to the settings, custom CSS, and then change this section to the one that you just copied. And then of course you gotta find this column, left column. So this, as you can see, is highlighting the search section on the left hand side that I want. So I'm going to click on that and then go into get CSS info. I'm going to copy all that. Custom CSS, and then I'm just going to paste that in here and then delete the .col inner. And then close that. And then go save. And as you can see, it's sticking to the left-hand side. As you scroll down your lessons, you have access to your search the whole time, which is great. And if I need to open, close sections for your lessons, that's there. Need more help is here as well. Look at that. Isn't that great? There is a native functionality in ClickFunnels to make things stick. But currently, the thing that you can do is you can make a whole section stick. So if I want this navigation to stick, I can go into settings, and then I go into size and positions, section width, and sticky is the two things that you have. And then currently it's set on no stickiness, but I can say stick to top on scroll or stick to bottom on load. So if I stick to top, and I go save. The whole thing will expand at the top, and it'll become a sticky global navigation. But you're kind of seeing that now this left-hand side is hidden underneath the navigation. So in CSS, there is something called a Z index, where you can set some points to be further out in front towards, in the screen, and something to be behind other elements. What this is doing now is that the top section has a Z index higher than anything else on the page. So everything is basically scrolling behind the navigation, which is fine. But what we just need to do is we need to add enough margin at the top so that when it sticks, we are catering for the amount of navigation that's on top. And so what that means is, for example, I'm going to guess that this top navigation is around like 100 pixels. So if I go settings on the very top thing that I have in that left column, and then give it a top margin of 100, it's gonna give it enough space underneath for this to not be hidden under the navigation. The only thing here, as you can see, is that it creates this like weird space here. What you could do is you could add elements that are not too important on this page, because I think adding specific CSS to make it so that it fits here and then it recognizes as part of the elements on page is a little bit more of a deeper lesson than what I'm trying to teach here. What I'm trying to teach is how to make things stick, and then if you have a navigation that is already sticking using the native tools in ClickFunnels, then you're just going to have to give up this little bit of space. But I don't think it looks horrible. It kind of pushes your eyes towards this middle section just because there's a bit more space here now. I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, then just leave some comments underneath and I'll try to get back to you. I have a personal email, so if you have maybe pages that you don't want to share in public, but you need some tips and help, just give me an email and I can take a look. If something is broken, I can also take a look and give you advice. A lot of my lessons here are not optimized for mobile, and you might be wondering, that's crazy because everyone uses their mobile phones and everyone uses it to look at your website. Yes, it's true. Some things are more optimized better on desktop and some things are not, and a lot of things I'm teaching now is for desktop only. I'll move more into mobile later, but I think it just becomes a longer education video if I make mobile and desktop for this lesson. So I'll probably revisit some of these things like the drop shadows and stuff for a mobile application later on. But for now, I hope this has helped. I'll be back with more. If you guys have any questions or suggestions on what you might want to see next, just hit me up. Thanks.